Hi students, greeting of the day and welcome to this video channel. One thing which I cannot understand is you have given examination for around 11 times from 1st to 11th standard and you have scored good marks. So why you are worried about your examination of boards? You should be well confident about what you have studied in 365 days, as well as for this entire 11 years you have prepared for getting good examination. So you have all the guts, you have all the ways, you should not be in pressure. You are having a good preparation. So only the way is the final touch, and that final touch which is to be given for your board examination we are dealing over here. So just go through what is told to you, follow those instructions, have a proper faith on us and practice as per the instructions provided to you in this video. Surely you will be getting 100% marks and I am damn sure about it. Prepare properly, have a proper diet, have a proper revision plan and go as per the instruction given over here.
So students, since the examination is overhead and you are tense, you are worried, you are in panic, you are making mistakes, so we have come up with this important tips for coming board examination for toppers, and if you go through it you will be getting plenty of help, and that is with a person who has 29 years of experience working with competitive students as well as school students. Now, if we talk about students, the examination is nothing but a part which is given to you, and every year you are practicing it. I am thinking that if you have practiced for around 11 years from 1st to 11th standard, now what is the panic? What is the problem? So that basic problem doesn't go till you stepwise move into the parameter. And the steps which we have to follow are, first one is know yourself, means first of all you should know how much you know for your examination, what all things you have prepared, what are the things which are very thorough to you. Then second is plan yourself. The rest of the portion which is left as well as the revision part is to be properly planned. And the third one is inform yourself. If suppose the portion is left, be confident that okay, this is the portion which I have not dealt and I have to deal it in the coming time duration while the revision is going on. So that will help you out properly to have a revision pattern. Now, what is revision? Actually, there is a misconcept, there is a problem. The revision is nothing but it's a second look. Students, there is a myth. What is revision? Actually, revision is a second look, but what the students they do is they prepare at this moment, they take up new things, they study new concept, they take up different books, they take up different notes from their friends and they revise it not as a revision, they read it the first time. So revision actually is a second look. You have to see the second time, you have to read the second time, you have to memorize the second time. It's not the first time. Not a time to purposefully learn something new. It's the old one which you are just reading it so that you check that it's in your brain or not. And the third one is have a plan. Plan the proper revision. Now what you are going to deal with, say just an example. Right at this juncture of time you have around 10 days for your chemistry paper. So you can deal 2 chapters a day of chemistry by just going through the chapter with NCERT book and then solving the questions which we have given into our this channel only. Then the fourth one is gather your resources. Whatever notes you have, whatever books you have, whatever online you have taken, all those things have to be gathered properly as the resources and then you have to proceed. Then where to begin? This is something very important, students. You should be confident that where from you are going to start. You should first of all feel most confident about the portion which you have dealt. You should know where you are confident about the topics and where you are nervous about the topics. Means you have to go through the portion once again or twice. That shows the nervousness, means you are not confident into that portion. Then whatever you have left, that should also be into your brain. You should have it properly kept into a side, that yes, this is a portion which I have not did. Now active revision, without planning, without active revision, without having a proper setup, you forget around 80% of what you have learned within 3 weeks. This is about only 3 weeks I am talking about, and psychologically is proved by the psychiatrist that this is a position that we forget what we have learned within 3 weeks. So now that is something what I want to tell you is 80% of that goes if it's read in 3 weeks. But the other aspect which I calculate is you keep in mind 80% if it's into 1 week. So 80% of the portion is not forgotten, that is for 3 weeks, but in 1 week whatever you study, that is 80% with you. Then make a timetable. A proper timetable should be there, so that you get up properly in the morning, you have your proper meals, you have proper exercise, you have a proper revision planned. Then now here again a myth is there. What is examination? Don't panic, students. It's only the test of your memory, that how much you recall what is in your brain. Then test for writing speed and style. How much you write, what is the style, what is your writing, what is your presentation, have you drawn a line after the answer, have you written the answers properly, have you marked the answers properly, have you drawn the diagrams properly, have you written the reactions properly. All this they are checked into examination. Then application and understandings seldom tested. Whatever you have taken up as the application, you understand it and it's with you. And the mathematical concepts, the language, all these things, they are checked in the examination. So this is the examination, and that requires a proper revision. So students, what does an exam actually test? So the first thing which is tested in your examination is the knowledge of the subject, how much you have studied, what you know. Do you know the knowledge based questions or application based and skill based questions? Do you have a proper knowledge of the reactions, the diagrams which are used up for the economical purposes? So this all is tested in the examination. Then time management skill. I assure you students that every child, every one of you can solve the question paper which is from the board, but there will be variation of time. One will complete in 4 hours, one will complete the total paper in 5 hours, one will complete in 2.5 hours. Actually it's the time management skill which is tested over here. That is simply, if I talk about the chemistry paper, has 70 mark question, and if you leave the checking part and the overall conceptual checking and drawing the lines, you have 2 minutes for 1 mark answer. So that is something which is a time management skill which you have to make before the examination. Then the level of concentration. What is the concentration by which you have studied? What is the concentration by which you are giving the examination? These all things, they are tested in the examination. Then the basic intelligence. What is your intelligence level? Every child is taught by the same teacher in a classroom, but all of them do not get the exact equal marks. They have difference in the marks just because their basic intelligence have the variation. And over here the temperament is checked. Temperament in the sense, if there is a question which is a bit fishy, that is tricky question, and if you stuck into that question, if a numerical is there in chemistry and if you stuck into that numerical and you give more marks, more time as per the marks which is provided, so you'll be having the shortage of time at the end of the paper. So this is something, a temperament you have, that will be shown over here, and that is checked in the examination. And last but not the least, the situational adjustment. You go to another school to give the examination. There the bench is having a problem. It's a bit loose in fitting and it's moving, means it's not strict and erect. It's having a problem. When you write, it rolls here and there. So that is a situation which has been there. So how you adjust to that situation, how you adjust to the new place, this all things is dealt in the this examination pattern. Now the tips for the board examination: first and foremost thing is, students, proper presentation of first 2 pages. Write the first 2 pages properly. The writing should be the best handwriting you have, so that when the correction part is done, those 2 pages, if they are written properly and they are having a proper presentation, a proper material, then there is a mindset which is made of the examiner. Second, answer the questions sequentially. If suppose you do not know the fifth question, you know that this question is of 1 mark and will at least require 30 words. So leave 2 or 3 lines in which the 30 words come. Go to answer number 6. Write that answer. At the end, maybe you get something out of it for the this fifth answer, and that may be written there. Examiner doesn't know when you wrote it. So sequential answering is more important. Then time management should be there. As I said, every 2 mark should be given a minute, and that will be having a proper duration. Then write answers with the word limit. Like the 1 mark question, if you see, as per the marking scheme, either you have to write 1 word or you have to write 30 words. So as per that, you have to make the sequence. Then distribution of questions in parts. Questions are there. 5 mark question is there. It's having 5 parts. Write the answers properly in all those 5 parts. Don't write more of the answer part in first one and second one is only 1 line. That will have a ununiformity. You have to have a uniformity into it. Then equation should be balanced properly. Whenever you are writing, if the equation is not balanced, properly balance it. Use the method to balance the equation. Write answer point wise. And the best thing is, which is written in your board examination copy, that you can use different ink. So use different inks to write the points, write the equation, draw the diagrams properly with pencil. This all things you have to take in mind. Then the further techniques which you can use over here is, solve the easier questions first. Attempt every question. Leave 10 minutes to check your work. If you get stuck, move on. Often the answer will seem more obviously later, and sometimes it's found later in the examination that you have got that answer. So don't panic. Leave that question, leave the lines for it, leave the proper space for it, and move for the other answer. Then key points. What are the key points for your examination? Build relaxation time into your revision schedule. Fear is normal. Take rest properly. Get proper sleep a night before. Make sure that you have the proper time duration, and as per that you have to have the proper arrangements. Have a proper breakfast. Have a proper sleep. Be on time for your examination, for each and everything, a day-to-day schedule. Make sure your examination kit is complete, your admit card is kept into place. A photocopy should also be placed with you into another place, not into your examination kit. Then read the paper carefully. Now there are a few points which you have to keep in mind. Those are key points. First 10 minutes they are given to you by the board itself to check the paper, to check the instructions. Put your name, roll number on the paper properly, read the questions properly, work out your panic strategies. And most important, after the examination, avoid the post-mortem. Especially if you still have more examinations, make a note. And here, this year also, after chemistry paper, you have the other papers, so make a note of anything you might need to look up before other examination. Celebrate the paper which you have given. Relax, sleep well, eat well, and exercise. Now these are some of the objectives which are given, which you should go through, and then dealing with one part, just I want to give an example. That's why I've taken this for chemistry specifically. If suppose there is a question, how many atoms can be assigned to this unit cell if an element forms a body centered cubic geometry and a face centered cubic geometry? This is a 1 mark. So in the marking scheme, if you see, half mark is provided just to write a number 2, and for second part number 4. Means a body centered cubic geometry has atoms to be 2. So you are not supposed to write the full sentence. So that is it in the second question also, that they have asked for van der Waals factor. So that is for K2SO4 in water, and the answer should be only I is equal to 3, and you get 1 mark if you just write I is equal to 3. So no need to write the total sentences, that may take much time. So this is a very important aspect which you should keep in mind. Similarly, other questions are there. Now this is something, the strategy which you should make. Plan your work, work your plan, focus and oriented study, emphasis on applications of concepts, speed and accuracy should be taken care, error retrospection, deductive reading, recreational cyclic study, and one thing very important, student, need to cover the entire syllabus. If a child is covering 80% of the syllabus and the accuracy is 80%, then the marks he would get or she will get will be 64%. But if 100% course is completed and 90% accuracy is there, then 90% marks are sure to come. So improve your accuracy, improve the course completion, that will have a proper time duration, and revise regularly so that you have a proper setup. Health regime is proper sleep, proper diet, and proper workout is to be taken care. So all the best students, have a proper revision and give good result after the examination. So all the best once again.